Alright, let's be honest. There's just something irresistible about the end of the world. Whether it's dodging mutants, crafting gear from junk, or surviving on canned beans and pure adrenaline, post-apocalyptic survival games hit different. So today, we're diving into 20 upcoming must-play post-apocalyptic survival games that are packing everything from brutal combat to haunting wastelands and storylines that'll keep you hooked for hours. So, let's get started then. Set in a post-apocalyptic America, As One We Survive is a top-down survival game where you play as a father desperately seeking help for his sick daughter during a grid-down post-pandemic crisis. Developed by Revelation Games, it blends survival mechanics with colony management, challenging players to scavenge, craft, and build a community to endure the harsh world. Combat is unforgiving. No health packs, just bandages and sleep to heal. With both story and sandbox survival modes, players must make tough choices, form bonds with NPCs, and manage resources wisely to shape their group's fate. It's coming to PC. Is a standalone survival horror game from Techland launching August 22, 2025 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. You play as Kyle Crane, a haunted hero who escapes after 13 years of brutal experiments, now wielding beast-like powers from zombie DNA. Set in Castor Woods, a lush, post-apocalyptic valley reshaped by beavers, the game blends intense parkour, visceral melee combat, and terrifying night encounters. Players can explore by foot or vehicle, switch between human and beast modes, and team up in 4-player co-op. It's a gritty, story-driven return to horror, packed with secrets, factions, and primal brutality.
I don't care how high his walls are, or how big his army is. That fucker will pay for what he did to me. All the years he took from me, all the agony he put me through.
You want revenge?
Damn right I do!
ExeKiller is a retro-futuristic first-person action-adventure set in a scorched, post-apocalyptic version of 1998 New York. You play as Denzel Phoenix, a bounty hunter working for the Helion Corporation, navigating a semi-open world filled with hostile factions, dynamic weather, and moral dilemmas. The game emphasizes player choice, dialogues, quests, and endings shift based on your decisions. Instead of traditional leveling, progression comes through tech upgrades, mods, and augments. With a gritty Western vibe, vehicular exploration via your cybercar Appaloosa, and stealth or guns-blazing combat, ExeKiller promises a stylish, story-rich experience when it hits PC in 2025.
Sound area. Bounty hunting is a hell of a business.
Who are you?
I am ExeKiller.
I want to make you an offer, which I'm sure you won't refuse.
Exoborne is a tactical open-world extraction shooter set in a post-apocalyptic US ravaged by extreme forces of nature. Developed by Sharkmob and published by Level Infinite, it launches in 2025 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X OS. Players become reborn, survivors equipped with customizable exo-rigs that grant unique abilities to navigate dynamic weather hazards like tornadoes and lightning storms. Set in Colton County, the game blends PvP/VE combat, vertical traversal, and high-stakes missions where scavenging, crafting, and strategic exfiltration are key. With evolving public events and a gritty rebellion-driven narrative, Exoborne promises chaos, challenge, and cinematic survival. Forest Reigns is a story-driven single-player FPS set in a post-apocalyptic Paris where nature has violently reclaimed the city. Developed by VG Entertainment, the game blends survival crafting, exploration, and role-playing elements in a world where the forest itself reacts to your actions. Attack it, and it attacks back. You'll scavenge scarce resources, upgrade weapons, and choose alliances among 4 factions, each shaping the story's outcome. With a non-linear narrative and interactive environments, players must adapt to shifting threats, including mutated fauna and sentient vines. Launching on PC in 2025, it's a bold mix of stalker-like tension and immersive environmental storytelling. Gears of War. E-Day is a gritty third-person shooter prequel set 14 years before the original game, launching in 2026 for PC and Xbox Series X and S. Developed by the Coalition and People Can Fly, it follows a young Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago as they battle the terrifying Locust Horde on Emergence Day, the apocalyptic moment that reshaped the planet Sarawan. Built in Unreal Engine 5, the game returns to the franchise's horror roots with intense cover-based combat, a darker tone, and redesigned enemies that feel truly monstrous. Expect a linear, story-driven experience that explores brotherhood, desperation, and survival amid overwhelming odds.
The Locust throws him into a couch, and he lands next to the TV. The imposing Locust stalks toward Marcus, but he grabs the TV and slams it into his enemy's face. Marcus grabs the gun lying on the floor, but the Locust grabs his arms and redirects his shots. The Locust lifts Marcus and pushes him up against the ceiling. 2 gear-shaped dog tags dangle from a necklace around Marcus's neck. He kicks the Locust, but his angry foe pushes him against the wall. Marcus eyes the Locust's blade, drawing closer to his face. He pushes the blade into the wall and headbutts the Locust. The Locust rushes at Marcus, but he grabs his gun just in time and shoots its head off. Blood spurts from the Locust's exposed spinal cord. Tiny pieces of glass on the wooden floor begin to move as the ground rumbles. The wooden floor gives way. Marcus grabs an exposed metal pipe to stop himself from falling into a glowing red abyss. The pipe breaks, but a gloved hand reaches down and saves Marcus from falling. Dom pulls him back up to solid ground. Marcus catches his breath. Dom hands him his black do-rag, and Marcus puts it back on. The two soldiers look out at the apocalyptic scene surrounding them. A helicopter soars over them toward a distant bridge, still standing amid the chaos. Gears of War, E-Day, blood spatters.
God Save Birmingham is a brutal medieval zombie survival game set in 14th century England, launching in 2025 via Steam Early Access, with console versions to follow too. Developed by Ocean Drive Studio and Cacao Games, it drops players into a plague-ridden Birmingham where the undead roam cobbled streets and timber-framed homes. You're the last soul alive, scavenging, crafting, and barricading with physics-based mechanics, stacking furniture, leaping fences, and severing limbs to survive. With a historically accurate town layout, immersive survival systems, and a sandbox mode expanding over time, it's a gritty, atmospheric twist on the zombie genre. Hail to the Rainbow is a first-person story-driven adventure game by Sergei Noskov, launching for PC and PlayStation with the released date to be announced. Set in a post-apocalyptic cyberpunk Russia, you play as Ignat, a lone survivor navigating a world ravaged by tragic military events and haunted memories. The game blends horror and shooter elements with exploration, puzzle solving, and inventory upgrades. You'll face robotic enemies, uncover secrets through electronic records, and adapt to a reality shaped by chaos and moral torment. With atmospheric visuals, a photo mode, and music integration, it's a haunting journey into isolation, resilience, and the mystery of a cryptic email. Hello Sunshine is a mystery survival RPG from Red Thread Games, set in the sun-scorched ruins of a corporate empire. You play the final employee, journeying across a post-apocalyptic desert while staying in the shadow of a towering war robot to avoid deadly solar radiation. By day, you scavenge, craft, and upgrade gear. By night, you camp near the robot to survive freezing temperatures. The robot acts as your mobile base, repairable, customizable, and increasingly interactive. With helper bots, co-op play, and a haunting narrative about machines that refuse to shut down, Hello Sunshine offers a surreal trek toward a cryptic tower and the truth behind humanity's collapse. Light of Motiram is an open-world survival crafting game from Tencent's Polaris Quest and Aurora Game Studio, set in a post-apocalyptic Earth ruled by colossal mechanical beasts called Mechanimals. Players explore lush biomes from rainforest to snowy peaks, while building bases, taming over 100 customizable Mechanimals, and battling epic bosses. With realistic physics-based construction, dodge and counter combat, and seamless co-op for up to 10 players, survival hinges on creativity and teamwork. Available in 2025 for PC, PS5, iOS, and Android, it blends Horizon-inspired visuals with original lore rooted in a mysterious world named Motiram.
Though trapped in this accursed place, the outcasts never forget. Their true home lies on the plains. The past will be rewritten. As the mists reweave the threads of time. This journey will not be easy. You'll need courage. Wisdom. And a heart that craves battle. Fall or rise. The choice is yours. Stay strong, stay together, and rise with new hope.
MINSK is a third-person survival horror adventure set in a toxic, post-apocalyptic world where humanity clings to life in towering ruins above a deadly fog. You play as an android built by a lone engineer sent to infiltrate abandoned zones and scavenge vital resources. Along the way, you encounter another robot controlled by a biologist, sparking a bond that drives a shared mission to uncover the truth behind civilization's collapse. With vertical level design, hostile machines, scavengers, and emotional storytelling, the game blends exploration, action, and suspense. Developed in Unreal Engine 5, it promises cinematic visuals and immersive sound when it launches on PC. Misery is a hardcore co-op survival shooter from Platypus Entertainment, launching October 23, 2025 for PC via Steam. Set in the radioactive ruins of the Republic of Zaslavie, players begin each run with just 60 seconds to reach a bunker before nuclear fallout hits. From there, survival means scavenging derelict cities, crafting weapons, wiring power systems, and defending against mutants, anomalies, and psychological decay. The procedurally generated world hides antenna parts needed for final evacuation, but nightfall triggers madness and lethal instability. With PS1-inspired visuals, base building, and one 6-player co-op, Misery blends STLKR vibes with brutal, session-based gameplay.
Я люблю глубину твоих ласковых глаз, как я хочу к ним прижаться теперь губами. Темная ночь разделяет любимая нас, и тревожная черная степь пролегла между нами. Верю в тебя, дорогую подругу мою, эта вера от пули меня темной ночью хранила. Радостно мне, я спокоен в смертельном бою, зная, встретишь с любовью меня, что со мной не случилось. Поэтому знаю со мной.
Nakwon Last Paradise is a third-person multiplayer zombie survival game from Nexon set in the urban ruins of Seoul. Players scavenge by night and manage shelters by day, navigating PvE expeditions where stealth is key. Zombies react to light and sound, and other survivors can be just as deadly. Guns are rare, so melee combat and improvisation are essential. Inspired by Korean zombie films, the game emphasizes realism. Kitchen tools become weapons, wounds can be fatal, and stress affects gameplay. With dynamic city zones, shelter upgrades, and a loot-based progression system, Nakwon offers a tense, strategic survival experience. Coming soon to PC via Steam. Nobody's Left is a gritty third-person survival shooter set in a post-war apocalyptic city where peace has collapsed into chaos. Developed by Mad Rain Studio, it follows a bounty hunter caught between warring factions in a chemically ravaged land. With no aim assist and brutal gunplay, players must rely on stealth, scavenging, and close combat to survive. The game features emotional storytelling, cultural Easter eggs, and stalker-like enemies that hunt you down. Missions are tense and non-linear, with multiple endings shaped by your choices. Built in Unreal Engine 5, it's coming to PC and consoles, though the release date is still unannounced.
At night, I lost touch with humanity and became the only god of this wreckage. because this world has no mercy. All of this forest is watered by blood drops, so I'm trying to give it more of that.
Permafrost is a brutal open-world survival RPG from Space Rocket Games and Toplitz Productions, launching in 2025 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Set in the frozen aftermath of a cataclysmic event called The Shattering, players must endure perpetual winter, scavenging, crafting, and building shelters to survive. You'll explore icy ruins by foot or vehicle, face moral dilemmas, and battle hostile factions or predators using primitive weapons. A loyal dog companion aids your journey, while co-op multiplayer lets up to 4 survivors forge alliances or go solo. With dynamic cold zones, resource scarcity, and haunting lore, Permafrost is survival at its frostbitten finest. Pioneer is a gritty, open-world MMO-FPS set on a post-apocalyptic Soviet island, launching in 2025 for PC, with console versions to follow. Developed by GFA Games, it blends PvE and PvP gameplay across 50-plus square kilometers of haunting terrain, where realism replaces health bars and level systems. Players act as ex-operatives scavenging for resources, crafting gear from anomaly energy, and forming alliances with factions to unlock story quests and loyalty rewards. The game features extraction shooter zones called Shadowlands, clan-based social systems, and immersive survival mechanics like hunger and rest. Inspired by STALKER and Escape from Tarkov, Pioneer promises atmospheric tension and deep lore. Regeneration is a third-person survival horror game from Mysterio Games, launching in 2025 for PC. You play as a scientist from the Samsara Technologies expedition, awakening in a devastated post-Soviet zone where reality is unraveling and mutated creatures roam. With most of your team dead and communication lost, you must use scientific tools like UV flashlights, DNA analyzers, and ultrasound devices to survive, uncover encrypted files, and stop a regenerating alien anomaly before it consumes everything. The ecosystem adapts to your actions, demanding stealth, resourcefulness, and environmental manipulation. It's a tense, story-rich experience blending sci-fi terror with psychological dread.
I'm not from this world. They hide in the shadows, playing with us. Someone has to stop this before it awakens. Kate, please, forgive me.
Rooted is a post-apocalyptic co-op survival game from Headlight Studio set in the year 2100 after a global bacteriological war wiped out civilization. Players explore a vast, evolving world, solo or with friends, scavenging, crafting, and building camps in forests, villages, or ruined cities. With no traditional leveling system, progression comes from salvaging and repairing items from the past, unlocking blueprints, and upgrading gear. The game features dynamic weather, hostile factions, and threats like rotor robots and contagious zones requiring specialized equipment. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, Rooted emphasizes realism, teamwork, and strategic survival across PvE and PvP modes.
ID card with you at all times, in case of control. For safety reasons, the Army has deployed autonomous civilian security robots. They are here to protect you.
State of Decay 3 is a third-person open-world zombie survival game from Undead Labs built in Unreal Engine 5 and expected to launch in 2026 for Xbox Series X and S and PC. Set years after a global outbreak, it emphasizes community-driven gameplay, permadeath, and emotional storytelling. Survivors remember those they've lost, shaping the narrative. Players scavenge, build bases, and fight mutated undead in a shared online world with flexible co-op. With help from Obsidian and the Coalition, combat and animations are more visceral, and gear customization reflects a world of scarcity. It'll be available day one on Xbox Game Pass.
Fear and death that surrounded us. We found hope in each other.
Help! I'm surrounded. They're everywhere. There's way more than I was expecting.
And even if we bought the other survivors just one more day, the sacrifice would be worth it. It would always be worth it. And that helped us find the courage to keep going, to fight on. When we needed it the most. I didn't know you well. But we'll keep your memory alive. Every sacrifice we make matters and will never be forgotten. No one is forgotten. We live on.
Terminator Survivors is an open-world survival game from Nakwon Studio Milan, launching in 2025 via Steam Early Access, with console versions to follow. Set in 2009, just after Judgment Day, players lead a group of resistance fighters scavenging, crafting, and building bases to survive Skynet's relentless machines, including the iconic T-8003. Playable solo or in 4-player co-op, the game emphasizes stealth, resource management, and strategic combat in a hostile world where hunger, thirst, and injury shape every decision. With a storyline bridging the first 2 Terminator films, it promises tense encounters, evolving alliances, and a gritty fight for humanity's future.
But all seemed lost and we had to run from Judgment Day and its killing sun. Now it's time to be back in the light. The world of Skynet will have to fight. But then new life one day we'll see, and everywhere our name will day. Survivor.
And there you have it, 20 upcoming post-apocalyptic survival games that look like absolute bangers. Let me know in the comments which one you're most hyped for, and if I missed any hidden gems, drop them below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more epic game lists, and I'll see you in the next one.